We're just waiting for people. We're just waiting for people to show up. So while people are showing up, I want to encourage you to take a moment with your little picture screen. There are three little dots on the upper right-hand side that you can click and rename yourself. And please put in your HBS degree and year. And in the chat would be great for you to put in where are you coming from? What location are you coming from? And if you would like people to contact you with your LinkedIn, put in your LinkedIn URL. So we'll do this while we're waiting a couple of minutes, Kathy, and we'll take it from there. At 5:02, we'll kick it off.
They're still coming in.
Perfect. I'll probably have to repeat this a little bit for people coming in.
We're up over 100.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Please take this moment while we're waiting for everybody to come in to rename yourself in your little thumbnail picture and put your HBS degree and year. And if you could, in the chat, tell us where you're coming from, what city, what region. And if you want to share your LinkedIn URL so everybody has access, go ahead and put it there too. People from all over.
Yeah, we're whipping up to 120.
All right. I believe it's 5:02, is it?
Yes, it is.
Right. I think that's our cue. We have people, everybody, we have something like what? 433 people registered. So we're waiting for all these people to come in. So please, again, I'll just mention, rename yourself so we can see your HBS degree and year, and tell us in the chat where you're coming from. And if you want to share your LinkedIn URL, that's the perfect way to do it, right there in the chat. Meanwhile, I'm going to kick this off. I'm Sherry Sklar, everybody. I'm from HBS MBA 1989. So shout out to all the 89ers. Hey, everybody. I'm on the board of the HBS Women Association. I'm the VP of Programming. And so I plead guilty for all the flood of events hitting your inboxes. But I have a great team of people behind me who are making this happen. It's not just me, trust me. We have well, first of all, it's my honor to kick off our launch celebration of the HBS Women's Association as a global organization. And I'm also playing the role of MC today. So I'm going to be guiding us through the agenda. We have a very special event planned for us. And I just want to first give a quick shout out to my partners in crime, Deborah McConkey and Elizabeth Crable. If you could wave your hands, these guys have been helping me. And especially also, where is Alexi Upchurch? At Alexi, if you could make yourself visible. Because everybody who are members of HBS Women are going to know Alexi. She handles all the registrations and memberships, all the administrative stuff. So thank you. Thank you all. While we're going through the agenda for this, I want to encourage all of you to think through some questions that you might have throughout the program, and feel free to start putting it into the chat. We're going to be monitoring your questions and get to hopefully answer as many as we can throughout the agenda. But before we kick off the agenda, I have a burning question for all of you in the audience. Nope, not yet, Kathy.
I know. I got ahead of you.
Please go back to
yeah. Sorry.
Right. The burning question for all of you is, what year was the first year HBS accepted women? Let's hear what you guys think. And while you're at it, what was the first year that HBS accepted women, and how many women were there? So what are we seeing? Let's see. Are we getting any?
Oh, you're getting messages.
I can't see them all. There we go. The first year. So we're getting some good guesses. 1967, 70, 63, 70, 75. All right, we got, oh, somebody said 1956.
Six, yes.
Interesting. Well, guess what, everybody? Keep putting your answers in. It's very interesting. Three women. Ooh, interesting. We're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna make you guys wait until you hear from Heather Myers, our president, who's going to share with us a whole bunch of history. But in the meantime, I want to give there's some very special people in the audience. All of you guys are special, but have to tell you that in our audience today, we have some of the very first women that joined HBS. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Janie Glicklack, Joan Colligan, Barbara Franklin, Jackie Brown Bunyan. They started at the Harvard Radcliffe program in business administration and finished and graduated in their second year with HBS. They're the first one. So they're here in our audience today. And in fact, thanks to Janie, Kathy, if you could turn to the next screen, you will see that there was a New York Times article that was written. I'm not going to tell you the year because Heather's going to share all this with you, but that is Janie in the screen there to the right. That's Janie, and to the left, I think, is Jackie. They were in the first class and graduated in that year. So welcome, everybody. And I just think there's a sense of history here. I want to say thanks to the very first women in the 60s and the 70s that were pioneers for all of us, and for all of us to, follow in your footsteps. Let me get right to the agenda, if I could, at this point. As we are the only women alumni organization for HBS alums in the world, we thought it only fitting to have an outstanding group of women leaders speak with us about where we've been, how far we've come, and where we envision going. And not only as an organization, but also perhaps more importantly, as HBS women making a difference in the world. So tonight, you'll be hearing from our esteemed president, Heather Myers. And she's going to give us a perspective as to why this is so important for us and challenge us to make the most of this moment and our connections with each other. And next, we're going to have a fireside chat between two amazing women from HBS who are leaders at HBS, also graduates of HBS themselves. Angela Crispi, our Executive Dean of Administration at HBS, and Jana Kierstead, our Executive Dean of MBA and doctoral programs and external relations at HBS. So welcome to all our speakers. We're so excited you're here. After that, we're going to have a Q&A session led by Deborah McConkey, who you met earlier. And so again, if you start to think of a question you want to ask Heather, Jana, or Angela, please put it into the chat. We'll try our best to get to everyone if we can. Next, we're going to do something really cool. We're going to have a breakout. One of the things that we stand for at HBS Women Association is we're all about connection, opening doors for each other, helping each other, and really just learning from each other. And so we're going to have a breakout session. You're going to be able to meet a bunch of people, encourage you to really get to know some of these folks and connect with them afterwards. After the breakout session, that's about 15 minutes, you got to stick around because we have giveaways. So, I mean, what would an event be without giveaways? So we'll get into that in just a little bit. And then right after that, we're going to just finish it off by talking about what's next and what you should look out for when you join or when you become involved with HBS Women Association. So with that, let's go to the next screen. Want to say thank you to all of our sponsors who provided gifts for us to give in the giveaways. They're listed here. Elizabeth's going to take you through all of them and the raffle items. But one thing I want to point out is the grand prize is coming from Susan Grant, who is on our board. Yay, Susan. She is the owner of Grant's Jewelry, and she is offering in her gift a $900 pair of diamond stud earrings. So, but you have to be a member to qualify to get these pair of earrings as one of the gifts. So if you're not a member yet, take a screenshot or take a picture of this QR code. You can sign up in the next 10 minutes. We'll still honor you. Okay, that being said, let's go on to the next slide. And I just wanted to introduce all of you guys to the board. If you haven't had a chance to meet these ladies, they are extraordinary. Like each and every one of you in the audience are extraordinary. We know this. We know HBS women are amazing. But I've had the great pleasure of working alongside all these wonderful women, and just each one of them is they're each of them are stellar. So please make a note, get to know them, reach out to us. We're very friendly, I promise. We all want to get to know you. And again, another QR code we have all peppered throughout of our slide deck. If you want to get involved, just take a picture. Kathy, onward and forward. All right, next, introducing Heather, our president. Heather, it's such a pleasure to introduce Heather. Heather is a phenom that has led this organization to the point where we are today, where we were a local organization at one point, Heather will tell you, but now we're global. Thanks to Heather. She, with her dedication and her focus and her drive, she mobilized all of us to get to this point. Heather is also the founder and CEO of her own strategy and market research company, Spark Number 9. I just wanted you to know that. There is even a case study, right, Heather? There's a case study written about Heather and her firm. So anyway, there's so much to know about Heather. I'm going to pass it on to Heather next, and she's going to take you to the next part of our agenda. Heather, take it away.
All right. Welcome, everybody. And thank you so much, Sherry. So it is obviously thrilling to see this many HBS women across so many classes on a single Zoom. And someday soon, I hope that maybe we all get together in the real world as well. So why are we here? We're here to celebrate the creation of a global organization that unlocks the full power of HBS alumni in every stage of life. Before we get too crazy with all the celebrating, I thought, as Sherry mentioned, I'd share a little history about how we got here. So this organization has an ancestor. The HBS Women's Association of New York was founded in New York City in 2007. For a decade and a half, the association was small but very vibrant, basically a club that had in-person events, lots of networking, talks by industry leaders, outings to cultural events in the city, and of course, then came the pandemic. We noticed that a lot of non-New Yorkers were joining our online events, and we started to question why we were New York only in an era where a lot of technology, like Zoom, was making connecting across geographies a lot easier. So we were curious about whether alumni in similar businesses, for example, might want to connect, or whether maybe women looking to join a board might come together for an event. And so geography didn't seem to be the only driver of how HBS women connected with each other. So we asked a few HBS alumni about their interest in building a group, and then we asked a few more, and then we started having literally hundreds of women joining Zooms like this one to learn more about this concept, and now here we are. But again, let's come back to the question of why we're here. So I bet you've all seen a lot of stats about how women get boxed out of roles they deserve. There's the venture capital stat on the next slide. There's also the women in politics stat. Yeah. And my current favorite, the e.l.f. Cosmetics guys named Dick on corporate board stat. So I promise I'm not going to drone on with statistics. It gets to be a bit boring. But I'm also not going to ask you to lean in, to step up, or otherwise add to your long to-do lists. Definitely not going to suggest that we are a sisterhood or that you have a moral imperative to help other women, even though I think that you do. But I am going to ask you to think about the power that you possess as an HBS alumna. And I want you to think about how much that power can be amplified when you come together with other alumni. So As alums, you're probably aware that HBS has made a lot of strides for women in the last few decades, really the last decade, I think, in particular. And in a moment, Jana and Angela are going to share more about what it's like to be a woman at HBS these days. And I have to say, from afar, the classroom experience looks pretty good these days. The number of female protagonists in cases has increased dramatically. The class of 2025 on the next slide there is 45% women, which is a pretty admirable increase from what I think was 27% in my day. And the percentage of non-male faculty, still a little work to do there, I think, but it has kind of crept above 30%, which is great. So great progress. HBS is improving the educational foundation that it provides to students. But we're not in the classroom anymore. We're out here in the real world, far beyond that manicured HBS campus. It's a little messy out here, am I right? I think for every HBS woman who achieves phenomenal success, I bet there are 2 who feel disenfranchised and probably trade their career ambition for something that's less of a slog. So can we change that? So if a bunch of HBS women can't do it, I'm not sure who can. So I've been president of this association for the last 3 years. This is my denouement. I stop being president at the end of this month, and it's the perfect time to share my hope for all of you and for this organization. My hope is that the HBS Women's Association becomes a systematic and effective organization for HBS alumni to build agency, worth, and power. What does that look like? When an entrepreneurial member is looking to reach CFOs to pitch her new AI accounting solution, other members make an introduction. When a new mom is getting ready to return to the workforce and she's looking for advice, there's a group around her to support her. When a member hears about an opening on one of the boards she's on, she recommends a fellow HBS Women's Association member, or maybe some other woman she knows who would be perfect for the slot. Systematic and effective. I want us to be the human pyramid of associations. So to make a human pyramid work, you need a system. And if the system isn't effective, everyone just ends up in a big pile on the ground. Human pyramids start with a strong foundation. We have that. HBS gave us that, right? They systematically build on that foundation one layer at a time to propel members to the next level. Interlocking happens within every level of the pyramid, but also across levels. And don't forget those players off to the side who are helping kind of catapult everyone upward. They're important too. So building a human pyramid is a little dangerous. This is actually a picture of Cirque du Soleil, which if you've ever seen them, like looks terrifying, right? Definitely takes a lot of practice. So I think that's where all of you come in. Time for a little bit of danger, but a lot of practice in helping each other kind of build that human pyramid. So if you haven't already joined the HBS Women's Association, now is the moment. Come build a human pyramid with us. So before I pass the baton to Jana and Angela, I wanted to just answer a few questions that I hear over and over again about the association. So one is, who can join the HBS Women's Association? Anyone who has graduated, as Sherry said, from an HBS MBA program or a degree conferring executive education program who supports HBS women. And I will note that while our membership is predominantly women, we're open to all alums, and we have some male members as well. Another question I often hear is, do we have local chapters? No, we do not have formal local chapters. In fact, our goal is really to work collaboratively with a lot of the local alumni clubs so that we can really be complementary to each other. So that means that we'll often promote local club programming when we think it's relevant for our members and vice versa. We also co-host in-person programming with some local clubs and definitely want to expand that practice. So if you're involved with your local club, we'd love to chat about how we might work with you in that club to organize something on the ground. One more question we get a lot is how the association is different from circles. Circles is organized by HBS. The HBS Women's Association is organized by alumni. Circles tend to be, I think, local and in person. We definitely have local in-person events, but we also connect across geographies. But I think most importantly, each circle is really a dedicated small group of alumni who gather to kind of talk about life, personal, professional, all of it, sometimes over the course of years, which is incredibly cool. And they really set their own agenda for their circle. We're much more of an association with all types of programming, range of topics that may change from year to year. And most of our members participate in a whole bunch of different types of events over the course of the year. We want them both. The more kind of organizations and support for women, the better. Okay, last question I hear a lot is, how can I help? Join the club, participate in events and programming. Another way you can help is to be part of history. To make this whole launch a wild success, we need our members to show up at our annual meeting on Wednesday, June 26th. It's a short meeting to approve our name change and our new bylaws, and we need a quorum. So boring, but very important. So I'm about to pass things over for our fireside chat to Angela and Jana, but I just want to thank all of you who helped make this organization happen. Saw lots of familiar names of people I've spoken to over the last couple of years. I also really want to thank the HBS Club's office, who really helped remove so many obstacles for us to get us to the finish line. Definitely want to thank Alexi Upchurch, who runs all of the HBS Women's Association operations. We would not, even move without her. Sherry, thank you and your committee for organizing this event. And most of all, thank you to Kathy Murray, our board chair and current Zoom person, who's been my true partner in getting us to this new organization. Okay, everybody ready for the big reveal on the HBS history question? The official answer is that 8 women graduated in the HBS class of 1965, but it's a little more nuanced than that. There were actually women before the class of 1965. There apparently was a Harvard Radcliffe School of Business Administration. In 1959, 3 women attended that school and were allowed to go to HBS in their second year. And so they graduated from HBS in 1960, and they had some successors as well. But in terms of admission directly to HBS, 1965, 8 women, and we are so fortunate to have some of those women here with us this evening. Cool. So thank you all. Onward, fireside chat. Angela and Jana, thank you so much for being with us.
Heather, thank you. I'm honored to be here. It is a really exciting milestone moment. So thank you very much for including me and Angela. And I am very large right now, so hopefully Angela will join me in a hot second. But that's okay. There we go. That's much
There we
better.
are. We share. There we go.
There we go. Much better. But really, thank you so much for having us. We're thrilled to be here and excited to celebrate the moment. For those of you I haven't had the chance to meet, I've been at the school for a while, but I just entered a new role. So I combined my old role overseeing the administration of MBA and doctoral with alumni relations and development. So you're stuck with me. I'm very excited, and we're going to talk a little bit about what that work is going to look like. But for tonight, we thought Angela and I might have a conversation rather than talking at you. We thought we would just talk with each other and share our perspectives and share them with you, and hope that we lend some insights that you haven't heard or known already. So I get to introduce Angela. Angela is my neighbor. Angela has been my boss direct boss for 15 years, but she is the most senior staff member at the school. So at some point, we all actually report in to Angela. And she is phenomenal at her job. I am so fortunate to consider her a friend and a mentor. And now I get to ask her all sorts of questions. So, but Angela works with Shrikant. They work hand in hand in running the school, all parts, publishing, online, MBA, doctoral, all of it. They oversee all of that. So she has a phenomenal perspective to share. So, Angela, you ready?
That's quite the lead up, but sure, absolutely.
I'm happy to do it. Okay, so you've been here for a while, actually since graduation, I believe. What's on your mind? It's been an interesting time. It's been interesting over those years. It's been an interesting 4 years this year in and of itself. And as you think about what's ahead, what's on your mind about running the school?
Yeah, and thank you. It's partnering with you, Jana, is a gift in and of itself. And I do want to thank, Sherry and Heather and Kathy for just providing the forum for all of us to come together. If you don't mind, I just thought I would just go quickly backwards in order to go forward. But the backwards is, I'm guessing that every single one of the 200 plus of you had a shared experience of the joy of being admitted to HBS, but the fright of being admitted to HBS. And I could be maybe, all right, maybe this is just me, but there was this great book that was written by Fran Warden Henry. I know it's looking a little backwards to you, but it's toughing it out at Harvard, The Making of a Woman MBA. And Fran's class of 1982, but she wrote this book in 1983. So I read the book and I've kept the book, right? And the book is actually falling apart, but I reference it a lot. And I reference it because one of the things that it did is that the very beginning of the book, in the preface, but also which repeats itself later on at the very end of the book, is the importance of having a support system. And the fact that having a support system, both in your personal and your professional life, is where you draw inspiration, where you figure out how you're going to get through the journey of the next chapter. I mean, what Fran does in the book, for those of you who have read it, is she takes a piece and says, let's look at the HBS experience from registration to commencement. And not all of it is good. It's very bumpy. And a little bit also had a piece of spooking me a bit. But against that backdrop of what it did of just laying out there what it was going to be like in a place like this, it just kind of set me on a journey of excitement, but then also trying to figure out what it would mean. And Jana, one more just to go backwards to go forward is it's been talked about of like this being like 10 years of W50. And W50, which happened in 2014, marked 10 years. What actually was marking is 50 years of women at HBS. But there were many interesting things, right? This was supposed to be, in part, a forum to talk about gender in work, how we could be part of a public conversation about what should be happening in the workplace, but also thinking about how do we deal with satisfaction and how do we juggle work and family, just the complexity of our lives. But a piece that happened is, for me, was a renewed epiphany of the generations of HBS, right? Because just as there are the incredible women that are joining us today who were part of the early generation in the 60s and 70s, all the way up to recent graduates who are with us, is that one of the things in thinking about this institution and then our work here and my work here is what do we do to always advance the next generation? Right? That's what we are about, is teaching and learning and using research to educate people. But I just think going back to what women have done for each other since the very beginning, knowing it was a rather interesting journey of our own, it was just absolutely, those were for bedrock for me about how to then think about what does HBS do and how do we move this place forward. So anyway, I hope you don't mind that little look back for a moment.
No, that was terrific. Thank you. Things you're thinking about now? Things you're in terms of the school and where we're heading?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things and being with all of you kind of set a marker of, what is it that we're trying to do at a place like this? And where we need your help in doing this kind of thing. So for one, I think one of the important things that's happening is how do we set the conditions under which this becomes the very best place to learn, teach, do your work, come back in reunion as alumni. But if you are using that as your like true north, is creating the very best experience, you're doing it sometimes all in person, sometimes online, sometimes blended. But I do recognize that that becomes a piece of, okay, we want to do that. But the other part that is another form of true north is what do we do to make sure we are a living model of what's being taught? And so this piece where, Heather, you showed the stats, you know, our stats are doing great in terms of women, but we've got a lot more to do. There's a lot that's been advanced in terms of cases and more case protagonists who are female, professional opportunities for women, but also there's still a lot more to do. So these two pieces of what do we focus on now is in some respects enduring, Jana, right? Let's just get like, make sure we create those very best conditions and make sure we are a living model of what's being taught so that we can then just help people professionally. So anyway, that's a little bit of thinking about that focus.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. And I will attest to the fact that, yes, I think we do obsess over how to get better in all of these arenas. And that's a lot of what we spend our time thinking about is, yeah, our stats are good. How do we get better? So we have that culture of improvement and excellence for sure. All right. So this is a women's event and a women's special interest group. So who's thinking about women's issues on campus at the moment?
Actually, one of the things that's been interesting is that it's a collective piece that we share. Now, we could look and say there are groups like Race, Gender, and Equity, which is an initiative which thinks about all the ranges of things in the workplace, whether it's here or elsewhere, and how to kind of keep pushing the agenda forward. But we also have an Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, right? That too is kind of, so I'm using some strong like anchor points. But then I just think what you will see is that there's a lot that's just dispersed throughout the organization. I know this to be the case for you. I'll say it as a case for myself and others, is really looking at recruiting. Are we recruiting students and faculty and staff? Where are we going into pipelines to be able to find the very best people to come here? When they get here, what are we doing to create all the opportunities that they need to develop? So the stat was showed about like where the HBS faculty is at this point in terms of its demographics, but I would also point 45% of the junior faculty are women. So that's the piece where you can say is very intentionally looking at doctoral programs and other places where we can draw in the talent and then develop them. Like that's how we continue to get someplace. You certainly see this in your arena too, Jana, but I think that's when we could see that many people, yes, there are anchor points under which we do it with particular groups, but I think every single one of us share the same common ground. Would you agree on that?
Absolutely. I think we all of us feel the drive and need to make sure women can thrive here in whatever their roles are. And I think I'm very excited about that junior faculty stat. Right. Those are going to be our tenured faculty. Those are going to be the leaders of the institution to come. So making sure they feel supported and engaged and that they belong and have the right setup to succeed is incredibly important. So, yeah.
You know, I'll just throw out another one too. Is this just in the arena of executive education? I mean, this is a positive byproduct of COVID, but we had fully in-person programs and we had to pivot to online programs. And we watched the participation of women just skyrocket. And that was a piece of just realizing just the complexity of everyone's lives, but also just that this was actually going to be a vehicle if we could now go in a more modular format where it's part in person and part online. For women, we would actually be able to enable more women to come here. And that has absolutely been the case. Post-COVID, the number of women has continued to rise in coming to us in executive education because it was learning, okay, we actually also need to be where they are. And trying to juggle both work and family or work and a life is complicated. And so executive education was definitely an arena, as well as online, just watching the number of women taking online programs. It's not to say that men aren't, but we absolutely could see the surge happening there.
And I think for executive education, it was not only the hybrid piece, but it chunks, like leaving your family for 9 weeks. A lot, right? Weekends included. But now if you do it for 3 weeks at a time, it's more digestible and it seems easier for folks to engage and do. So which has been terrific. Okay, one last question for you.
Yes, what do you got?
The importance of this group. What role does this group going to play in the school? And we'd just love to hear your thoughts on that.
But you know, it's an overarching piece too of like we we learn what to do, and partly by people both telling us and giving us examples and wanting to participate in us shaping it. So I say that I don't think this is one where you come to school here and then it's over. You come to school here and we want you to continue to help shape us. So you're the ones who know where the opportunities are. You know the realities of the pinch points. Somebody who graduates from us, maybe their age is 27 or comes to executive education and they are in a particular program, or everybody's wondering, how can we increase board diversity? How can we bring more women into leadership positions? And so all of those things, I think for a group like this is invaluable because you sit at the nexus of understanding what's happening, but have a range of ideas we can draw. Now, we can't always do all the ideas, but we certainly can tackle the ideas over time. So I just think, I don't think you should ever hesitate to sit back and be quiet. If you don't tell us, we don't know. So tell us about the things that you're facing. Tell us about the things that you think we ought to do. And I don't know where you are, Jana, but I think we're a pretty darn good institution of having our antenna up and then following where that direction needs to be.
Right. I agree with you. Right.
Do you mind
All
if I
right.
come at, can I come at you now?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Ooh, this is so good. Hey, no, I want to ask, because you talked about, you have a new role, so in some respects, the bringing together of certain groups across the school is meant to really help think about the arc of a life of an individual who joins us when they are admitted into whatever program they're coming into, but also their journey throughout their life. And so this is a new role for you, but as you take and are the new head of external relations, what excites you, or what are the things that you see?
There are too many to mention. I'm super excited, and the team is super excited to draw this arc and these connections between, as you said, from prospect to student to alumnihood, I would call it. I don't think we've always talked about the 2-year experience, and then you're an alum, and now what we want to do is reframe that a little bit. And we've been thinking about it in different terms. So the first year of the program is now considered the RC, required curriculum. The second year of the program is considered the EC. What is the alumni curriculum? How do we think about that? How do we continue to play an important role in people's learning and their journey, whether they've taken time out of the market and want to get back in? What do they need to know? Or if it's AI, it's coming at us fast and furiously. So we as a school should be the place where we can help our alumni learn what's happening. And so I'm super excited to explore that arc, to help alumni engage more with students, for students to engage more with alumni, and for us to be connecting all those dots along the journey. So we're on our way. It's early days, been about 5.5 months, I think, learning this business, and then now trying to pull both groups together. So far, we're seeing lots of important connection points, but I'm open to hearing from others.
Yeah, no. And we can see what others are thinking. I think it's actually terribly exciting. And a lot of times you do it, and all of you know, right? You're in organizations and you make some changes and everyone thinks you know what the answers are. And it's only meant to be a marker. No, this is just the beginning of being able to think about some things in new ways. I'm curious, the campus experience, right? Which the students so well, and you've been here for 20 years and are able to draw from just your particular vantage point. But how do you think that the campus experience has changed at all?
Dramatically, in lots of ways, and lots of things are exactly the same, right? So people are playing tennis on the tennis courts, and although they now have pickleball lines, so there's a difference, right? So you've got that. So they're the same, but they're a little bit different. There's some new buildings you haven't seen. From a student experience standpoint, let's talk about some numbers that may help ground people. So I arrived in 99. So class of 2000, we had 30% women, and today hovers between 45 and 46%. Big change. Feels different, right? It feels like you're not this small group anymore. You're half and half pretty much. And that feels good. We still have WSA reps Women's Student Association reps in each of the sections. They're still a very active role. One of the most popular events that they run is the Women's Conference. So it's the largest conference and still quite popular. Also, for those who were involved, the review sessions, for those of you who planned them or gave them, those are still very popular among students. And then I thought I'd share some interesting stats, just both in terms of leadership. So academically, women are equally represented as their male counterparts in second-year honors. So I think that's a pretty great statistic. We've worked on that, we've focused on it, and happy to see that where it is. And then also in terms of, some students choose to focus on academics, some choose to focus on leadership in other ways and extracurriculars. So another one, in 2001, women made up just 38% of student leadership positions, and now it's over 50%. So our women are killing it, basically. And they're running the school, and it feels like a pretty awesome vibe around campus. There's stuff to work on, and there always is. So I don't mean to glaze over any of that. There is always stuff to work on, and some big pieces and important pieces, but I think we are moving in the right direction. And I'll talk about a piece of that, I think. I have another piece to talk about in terms of the 46%, but I'll let you ask the next question. Maybe I'll end with it.
No. And let me just ask you then this is, and then we can open it up for Q&A, but then I guess,
Okay.
for graduating, for graduating women, what do you think are some of the concerns, things that are on their mind that they are concerned about, right? We all have different concerns at different chapters in our life or different moments in time, but what have you seen?
It's interesting. The conversations on campus, and I noticed somebody in the thread said there's a double standard in terms of women being able to travel versus men. The conversations on campus have changed. Everyone's involved in figuring out how you balance your life. Charting, Leslie Perlow's work in charting your life, and what do you want it to look like, and how do you think about a career and a family? It's not just the female students in a room talking about that. Everybody's talking about that. So I don't know if it's a generational thing, but it's really nice to see everyone's talking about what kind of parents they might want to be, or aunt or uncle, or whatever their interests are, trying to balance it all. And it's hard, but I think all students are talking about it. From a salary standpoint, men and women are on par at graduation, so they're getting the same salaries. They're going into the industries equally, which is great. That's not fair, not equally. I think there's some underrepresentation. I think there's certain industries that really look for prior experience. So if the women or anybody if they don't have that prior experience, it's harder to pivot or switch, which I think is a place where this group can be incredibly helpful, because if you don't happen to have, XYZ prior, it's harder to get in. You might have to take some steps, or you might have to have a summer internship. And the power of this group to help with that is immense. So people are thinking about all those things. I think our students are also thinking about cities and where they want to work. A lot of people are staying on the coasts. And one of the reasons I think is there, I know it may seem like a silly concern, but people want to get out of here and they want to date and they want to find somebody to marry. Can they do that in XYZ city, right? So for people who are in other cities outside the coasts, helping to welcome people, helping to help with a network so they can get settled and meet people, I think is a big piece of things that's in people's minds. So I would say that. I don't know if that's helpful or not.
No, it's super helpful. And actually, I think what it is that I think we would all 200 plus of us share in the sentiment that there are things that are just enduring and perennial, things that women have faced over a long-standing time period. And that's just part of like what makes us who we are. But there are some things that have gotten better and things that to still continue to work on. Any last word, and then we can open it up a little bit, but anything that you would wish us to talk about?
I love that we're at 46%.
Yeah.
I would love if we could get up past that. We've kind of been not stuck there, but we've been there for a little bit. To get up past that number, we need the pipeline to grow. And so what does that mean? That means we need more talented women applying to the program. So this group could be an incredibly powerful force in that. And so if you see talented women who you think could make a difference in our classrooms and benefit from this transformative experience, send them, encourage them, help them, tell them that. I think one of the greatest reasons we know this to be true that people don't apply is they don't think it's for them. Right. And they're afraid, A, it's not for them, or they won't get in. Right. The best way to make sure you don't get in is to not apply. Right. And I think that's the first thing. So apply and then get to know the place and get to know us. And I think they'll see that there's a home for them here. And I would just love everyone's help in growing that number.
Thank you for saying that, because you're right. I think I think for everybody, for all of us, both whether professionally or personally, the answer is going to say no if you don't even try to lean into seeing if something is possible. So whether or not that's a work assignment, whether or not that's applying to an MBA program, whether or not whatever that happens to be is,
Yes.
you know, we just have to take a chance. And if any of you do see really promising candidates, Jana, thank you, because that's how we'll get to above even the impressive number we're already at.
Right. We've gotten there in undergrad. And we're not
Yeah.
there yet in business school. And the people who get admitted, you know, our applicants, our class has to reflect our applicants. So we need more applicants.
Yeah,
That was just me.
No, exactly. Trevor, I love what you're saying, right? The key to this is having to see yourself at HBS.
Yeah.
So thank you for that piece.
Thank you.
All right, so
Yes.
where to now? Some questions or?
I think there
Yes,
are. Yeah.
yes. There's some things that have come up. First, I want to say how thrilled I am that we're at 45%. When I attended, it was 12%. So it was a very different experience in 79. But we, following on to meeting women where they are in different stages in life, do you see programs that can help for continuing education address women who are coming back into the workforce after children? Because some leave totally, some go to a part-time role. And are there things that HBS can do to help them in that process? Certainly, as an organization, we want to be able to do that. But from a programming and learning standpoint, do you see HBS getting involved?
Do you have anything, just knowing your depth of understanding of career and professional development and services, and something pop in your mind?
It does a little bit. So I think one of the most underutilized resources we have here on campus is the coaching program. So some students may remember it, those who have been here last 10 or 15 years, and for others, it's a brand new resource. But we have over 50 professional trained coaches, not volunteers, but people we've trained and who we pay to work with not just our students, but our alumni. So alumni can take advantage of up to 6 appointments a year. So I think if there are people out there who are thinking about either making a transition, coming back into the workforce, how to think about it, look on the alumni site, you can find the coaching program. And I would start there to figure out what do you want this next chapter to look like and how to chart that path. Many of those folks are alumni themselves. And I think it's just a very efficient, time efficient, targeted, helpful way for people to at least kickstart. And then you open up to lots of other possibilities, whether it's the courses from HBS Online or materials from HBR or some of the programs that Alumni Relations runs. Those are also incredibly helpful. Even just joining this organization will be incredibly helpful. Joining circles, those types of things I think are really, really helpful. Angela.
No, there's others. I'm thinking like Exec Ed has a great program, Women on Boards, right? And of like how to do that. There could be things that you feel like as a student, because you haven't been here in a bit, all of us included, like design thinking, right? Or artificial intelligence, right? And it can be things that aren't necessarily here. There are things at, Flatiron School, which does great things on data analytics. So I think it doesn't even have to be just here, but the coaching for sure, Jana, it's great that you raised that. But I think there are some different things that you could partake in here. But it also, there's a lot of richness to some things that are in other places as well.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to ask people, in the interest of time, we're asking if you can post your questions here, because we're trying to get in so much in a short period of time, rather than having us call on you, if that's possible. We had one other question that I think both pertains to HBSWA that perhaps Heather could answer, as well as the school. And it has to do with what's been going on in campus recently in terms of, anti-Semitic activity and whatever. And I know we didn't ask you here to speak about that, and that the dean recently has, but if there's a couple of things that you can just allude to, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, you want to talk yeah, go ahead. I'll just say there's many things happening at a school, and it has definitely been a trying time. And I would not say anything else otherwise. I mean, certainly for the sake of what is happening in the world, but then just in our microcosm of Harvard, it's been a bumpy time. But number of things, and a number of things that we're learning that are things where we need to get better at. We've got 4 working groups, and Shrikant in different talks would have raised those, but those is just 2 being a case in point is anti-Semitism, and then a working group on Islamophobia and anti-Arabism, into like, what is the situation here and what's it like to be individuals and experiencing this campus, and we learn a lot and then say, okay, so let's do something about it. But those are just kind of, I'm giving 2 out of the 4 working groups. Other ones talking about free expression, what's happening in a classroom, what's the sentiment of discourse on the campus. But there's a number of things that we have absolutely been doing, just to both make sure that everybody is supported and that a focus on wellness is there, but also things that we really need to actually make some improvements on. Jana, others that you make?
No, I think you hit the high points. It's been a year for sure. And it was a painful year for some, super painful for some of our students, for some of our staff and faculty. We poured a ton of time and energy into supporting folks. And I talked about some of this on that webinar, so I won't go into too great depth, but we spent a lot of time and energy trying to focus on support to make sure our students had what they needed. And we will continue to do that into the year to come. The team is spending the summer getting ready for the year to come so that we can make sure people feel. Yeah, I think our goal is that everyone is here feels a sense of belonging, so they can thrive, so they can focus on what they came here to do. What they came here to do was to learn and to have this amazing 2-year experience. And so what we did last year and we'll do this year is try to focus on the things the painful events and things that were happening, and at the same time, really try to deliver on an educational program so people felt like they could do both. And we will continue to do that. But lots of work to be done. We're not where we want to be. That culture of constantly improving and excellence is really there, and we have work to do. So that's the plan for the summer. Everyone thinks we take time off. Students are interning, we're working, and that's the focus for sure. I did answer. Right. Oh, sorry. Can I go ahead? You go ask the next question. There was one thing I forgot to mention, and I just wanted to make sure I did. But
sure. Go ahead.
It's off this topic, so I hope that's okay. But I did want to make sure that folks knew about the conference that's coming up in November. So I don't know if it's in the thread, the chat thread's been flying by. I haven't been able to see it, but there is a women's conference coming up in this November, and the actual dates, I'm checking my phone, November 7th and 8th. So I think that would be an amazing time to be on campus, get a sense of how things are going, and engage with students, and take some time for yourselves and invest in you and refuel a little bit. At least that's how I find the time when I get to connect with all of you, is it fuels me up. So take that time and do that if you can.
Fantastic.
Deborah, I think it's time for us to move on. Do you have one last question? Or
You know what? It was related to, we had talked about women re-entering the workforce, but some wanted to know if you're over 50, are there particular programs? You mentioned coaching and whatnot, but women who want to have next chapters.
I personally, I would start with the coaching program. I think in the coaching program, you can chart your path. So they will know the programs, they will understand what you're trying to do, and then be able to help you match with the right programs and the right steps to take. So it's a very individual thing. And so I would start there.
No, and I know I've been
Okay.
following, just watching some of you talking about Arthur Brooks, right? Arthur Brooks, you know, research and recent book is all about also there's a point where the crystallized intelligence, right? Versus linear intelligence. And so there's a point exactly with what you're saying, where you hit a point where you have so many experiences with that crystallized intelligence. There's a lot of things that you can do. And so to your point, Jana, like let the coaches kind of work that through, but it doesn't mean you have to be doing what you did when you were in your 20s. It's all about taking your experiences and do what you can do later on. So, his work is really important, but I think that certainly is resonating with a number of people about don't try to feel like you have to go backwards, do what you were doing. It's okay to pivot and go forward.
Love that.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Sherry?
Yep, Deborah, thank you for handling the Q&A, and Angela, Jana, can't thank you both enough for being with us. I hope you can stick around and stay with us for the next piece as much as you can. We would be so honored to have you. But we understand you've got such a busy schedule going, and if you have to go, we will have to let you go. But we loved having you. So thank you for
Thank
the
you.
beautiful fireside chat. That was wonderful. Everybody, thank you. And Heather, thank you also for your great remarks. Right now, just want to mention that we're at the point in the agenda where we're going to do some breakouts. So Alexi is going to break us up into groups of, I don't know how many, 10 at max. And we're going to get to know each other a little bit. So in your breakout session, I'm going to ask each of you to self-manage this. We have about 15 minutes. Take about a minute each, no more, else we're not going to be able to get through everybody. But introduce yourself, tell everybody, you know, where you're from, your year, your career focus, and what you hope to get out of the experience with HBS Women, maybe. And don't forget to take a notation as to who you met. And I highly encourage you to connect with people after this event. That's one thing that I know I forget sometimes to do, but don't forget that's how you network and that's how you stay connected with people. So anyway, with that, I'm going to ask Alexi to break us up into the breakout groups. And don't forget to come back. You have to come back to be present to win the giveaways. And giveaways are next. So have fun, everybody, in the breakouts.
Thank you, everyone.
Here it goes.
Lexi, I sent a broadcast out about what they're talking about. You're on mute.
Thank you. Almost done with this list of attendees. There's so many new ones that have joined, so I gotta make sure I'm double checking before I make this live. So that's what I am working on.
So are you putting some of these individuals, like Ava just joined, are you putting Ava into a group?
Yes, I've tried to keep an eye on them as if they're unassigned.
Although it looks like Ava's having a problem coming in. Did you get new members while we were talking?
I couldn't even tell you how many my email was being every 2 seconds. People were messaging me.
I know. Am I a member?
I'm like, I'm going to open a bottle of wine as soon as this is done. Oh, goodness. I would say,
Yes, Elizabeth, they
50.
can hear us. The people are here.
Mm-hmm.
Although Ava seems to be having problem connecting. Just be careful what
worried
you
that
say about anybody like Vinay, because he might be listening. Here comes more people coming in the waiting room.
Vinay, I saw your post about the leadership summit, I'm looking for a link online. I cannot find it no matter how I search for it. So if you have a link to it, if you could add that to your post, that would be great.
In November?
Yep.
Last I heard there wasn't one yet. Maybe like a save the date.
There just been a lot of there was a string of people asking about it since they mentioned it. So
yes. They're
Well,
meeting
safe.
tomorrow.
It's
so we
okay if
should
there's
have-
not. Yeah, Vinay replied what it is. There just isn't anything live to link to.
Ava, are you there? So many people joined that we know for years. So exciting.
I know. I've seen like May was on here.
Yeah, she was one of the first ones on.
Yes, there is quite
She
a
was
few
one of our
names, but-
first non-New York members, like 10 years ago. She moved to San Francisco.
Hello?
Hi, Vidya. We're in breakout rooms. Breakout rooms.
Yeah, I don't
wanna-
see anyone else, but I see Lisa.
I can
Oh,
move you to
we're
one.
just we can move you to one because we're not a breakout group. We're like the organizing group.
Okay.
Alexi can move you.
Yep, done. How much time do I have left? 7 minutes. Okay.
Maybe I'll send out another broadcast. 7
That's
minutes.
really fast.
It always goes fast. Breakout rooms.
Kathy, I hope those all okay.
Everything's fine,
Okay.
I would say. What would you say? We're doing fine. I'll broadcast 5 more minutes. Did you get worried that we were talking about you?
We were just making sure we hit all the notes. And they were really excited to join today and have to both be at other events. I'm supposed to be at another event on campus now, so I might have to drop off, but thank you for getting this together.
You're supposed to be somewhere else. Isn't
There, yeah.
everything shut down? Everybody graduated.
HBSAA is doing an event on campus tonight.
Mm,
There's a staff thing happening too, but
here comes
it's like-
somebody in now.
great job.
Say hi to the AAA group for us.
Definitely. I wanted to win the earrings for my partner. Just kidding. Nice job, Alexi. This is a lot of back end stuff for this. Very, very nice. Yeah. Yeah. You earned a cool drink. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
taking that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the support
Hi.
team probably
Hi,
never
Britt.
wants to see me again.
Hey, Britt, we're in
Hi,
breakout
friends.
group.
Yeah, how are you?
We're in breakout groups right now, and they have 4 minutes left. Do you want us to put you in one, or you just want to chit chat with us?
Oh, I'll chit chat with you. I was on my desktop and was put in a breakout group, which was awesome, but I have to drive, so I've transitioned onto my phone. So I'm just gonna hang and listen if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
Awesome. All right, this is fantastic though. Thank you so much. I'm excited about it.
So I'm glad your group is doing well. Because it's like when you put people in breakout rooms, you're sort of here like, okay, I hope that turned out. And we were directing people to rooms, but when it gets down to the last 2 minutes, you're like, huh. Or we could put you back in the one you were in if you wanted to listen, but I don't know which one you were in. Because we did the random choice today.
You have to toss Britt into the second one. I guess my office is right near her now. I do have to go to the event. Kathy, Alexi,
Okay.
thank you so much. I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Yes,
That was
thank
really
you.
awesome. We'll be following up by email, but I only
Thank
saw
you,
Angela,
Vinay.
but she was really, really good. Grateful.
Good to see you.
Okay.
It was amazing. Thank you
Oh,
for
and-
all your work. We
And
we
Alexi,
appreciate
if you do, thank you, Elizabeth. If you do want to send us the chat, so if there are any additional questions, that
Absolutely.
would be awesome. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
There
going to
is
be
some
an
good feedback. No, there's some really good comments in there that I think, Vinay, you guys will want to see. It's really helpful.
Super active. Like that is awesome. It was super active, like exactly what you want to see. So
yes.
nice job. It was a labor of love, but this is very, very cool. Exactly what we hope our clubs do. All right. Bye, y'all.
Okay. Bye,
Thank
Vinay.
you.
Take care. So how many more minutes should I send it out, or they'll?
I need like 2 more, like, well, I say that. I think we need it. Can we do like add 2 more minutes to it?
So
Well, maybe I'm almost done. I'm on this last. I'm double checking everyone, especially for these members, because it makes me nervous. I want to make sure that everyone has equal opportunity. And
I should say
we-
I'll give a 2-minute warning.
Well, they can have a 4-minute warning. Close it in 4 minutes. Well, even though I think it's set to automatically close, we're good.
Yeah,
We can.
it'll probably automatically close because you put it for 15 minutes, right?
Yes.
So it's 6:12. It's going to close probably anyways.
Um, ERD, I just have one more. I'm just hoping that there's not like, because some of these I had to type out because they were like last minute ones. Okay. All right.
That's good. Even with people leaving, it looks like most of them have 8 or 9 people in them. When Sherry's in, it has about 6. One with about 6.
What's my time left? 1 minute.
Elizabeth, you were in a room 15 and you didn't join it.
Oh yeah, I was looking, I was trying to scroll through
Ah.
the chat to collect all the stuff because
That's okay.
there's a lot of great comments in here, and I just wanted to make sure any that we can answer. Alexi, one thing that's coming up, but I think kick it to after this. A lot of people are offering to host local events, so that template of how to do it, we may want to consider just sending it to the whole attendee list, or if not, we can go through the chat and just send it to the people that are there. Susan Grant and IDM, she's going to also look at that to follow up with them. I just couldn't find it online because I'm not sure we posted online, but I couldn't find a link to it.
Comes somebody just joining. Okay, time is up for the 15th breakout. Ready, close them. You ready, Alexi?
Ready as I'm gonna be.
Here they all come back. Welcome back, everybody. Is Sherry here? Sherry, where are you?
All right, we got about 80 back.
Yeah. Looks like almost everybody's back.
Welcome back, everybody. Is
There
everyone
she
back?
is. Yeah, we were
Yes,
waiting for you.
Oh, we were wondering for the clock. The clock was going down. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you guys had a lot of fun meeting different people, and please take the time to connect with the people you just met and just go into LinkedIn and type their name and do it right after this event. I always have to remind just, one woman to another. Let's just remember how important networking really is for us. It's really going to be helpful. All right. Let me pass it over to our good friend, Elizabeth Crable, who's the Vanna White of this section. We're going to have giveaways, everybody. So take it away, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. This is the moment we stayed for. Well, we do have a little bit of update after this. I am excited because we have 8 amazing sponsors for this event. For our little HBSWA event, we had 8 amazing companies, most of which, if not all, are HBS led, which is amazing. So I want to get right in and start introducing you to some of the giveaways that we have tonight. So first, of course, we have to do something direct from our friends at HBS. The HBS Clubs team has provided us with an awesome HBS swag bag. It is full of HBS branded goodies. You've got a picture right there, but it's the tote bag plus some interior zipper bags, a water bottle, pen. I can't even read them all. There's so many things in there. We've got one of these to give away tonight. So we are going to pull one of the names. And Alexi, our amazing Alexi, has set up a randomizer spinner to pick our names. So we're going to go ahead and then pick, and Alexi can let us know who the winner is. And everybody here is eligible. If somebody dropped off, they're not eligible, and we'll move on to somebody else. But if you are here, you have to be here to win. So those that are still on, let's see who we have for the HBS gift bag.
Me.
See it?
Okay, let's see here.
The name
HBS.
The name is up there.
Do we
Okay,
see
in the chat,
spinner?
right? Is it in the chat?
It is.
Oh.
Yes, it is
Okay,
in the chat.
It's
Well, okay,
Propusha?
wait. So you didn't see, hold on, you didn't see the spinner? Because I did the
I
spin.
want to see
Didn't
the
see the
spinner.
spinners. Didn't see the spinner, but if we, okay, let's do 10, 15 seconds. If we can't get the spinner, I can go ahead and announce from the chat.
If you switch in view to
Yeah, I think you probably
Alexa,
want
you can see it.
change. Yeah, I think you probably want to change sharing screens.
Yeah, we were playing with this.
See, the tech glitch
It
waits
says
till the
shared
end. I'm okay with
screens.
that.
Well, why don't
Yeah.
you've already put it in the chat for, why don't we work on it for the next one? Can I announce? Because I see her name there. I want to announce it.
Who won? I
yes.
can't see it.
Yeah,
Pratyusha
it's already done.
Guru, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name, but can you wave at us? Can you, Alexi has your contact information, so we're going to get in touch. Anyone who wins here tonight, we will get in touch with you and let you know how we are going to get the prize to you. But just in case, if you are here and you are able to wave at us, all right.
I'm here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yay! Congratulations. Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
look for each of you winners after we do the announcement. Okay, so our next one, what do we have?
And if you're
Alexi,
in the
for our next
meeting,
one?
you're in the drawing. So this was at time of breakout room. So you do not have to enter anything. So I have the next one up and ready to go. Elizabeth, when you are.
Okay, so on to a different type of prize. There's a company called Parch, which is making an amazing set of non-alcoholic mocktails that have a Southwestern spirit, kind of agave, desert, Southwestern feel to it, all made with natural botanicals and adaptogens. But basically what we have today is a really great gift basket that has 3 different flavors of the Parch mocktails. You can find information on these on drinkparch.com, but it is a basket containing the best-selling flavor bittersweet prickly Paloma. We have the cult fave smoky spiced Piñarita and the latest drop of a flavor, desert margarita. So all 3 will be in there, along with a jar of desert bloom botanical rimming salt, so you can make your cocktails look gorgeous, and a Parch t-shirt. So we thank our sponsor Parch for this. This is an amazing set. And we will turn over to Alexi to tell us. We have 1 winner for this. We have 1 basket from Parch.
Kathy, I'm ready with the screen up. If everyone can see it, I'll start it.
Let's see.
Oh,
Is
there
your
you
screen
go.
up? Okay, is that good?
Make it bigger.
Denise.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
Denise Knitterhouse. Denise.
Where's Denise?
Okay,
Congratulations.
Denise, unmute yourself and say something
She was
if you
in-
are here.
She was in my group. There she is.
Yep. And
Denise!
I will share this with my alumni circle, of which I am by far the senior member. It's
You will be so cool, because this is like the hottest thing now is these amazing botanical mocktails. So congratulations, Denise.
Thank you.
Okay,
Perfect.
let's go back to our screen. And Alexi, I don't know if you can, but if you can make the spinner bigger, but I saw the name, which is good. So we're definitely a
It
step
worked
along.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Okay.
Kathy has
What is our next
the
one?
next gift.
Oh,
Okay.
let's see. I thought I had the share screen up.
I can start talking about it while you pull it up.
Yes.
So we have from an HBS woman-led company. We are so pleased. The founder of Beauty Belle and Beau is Anyarada Kilnani, and she is MBA 2020, one of our more recent grads. She has founded this company that is based around having healthy organic beauty solutions. So this is going to be a really amazing kit. We have 2 of these to give tonight. So we're going to give out to 2 different winners. And Anyarada, thank you so much. It's really amazing. You can check them out online. They are the company that you should think of as your oasis for happy, healthy beauty and skincare. So here we go. So let's pick 2 names for our Beauty Belle and Bow kit.
Ah, Tina. I know
What's
Tina.
that?
Tina, are
All
you here?
right.
I
Yeah.
don't see it.
I'm Tina
There
Daniels.
she is. Yeah.
Tina,
Oh, good. Sorry, I didn't see the spinner.
congratulations.
How
I
fun.
didn't see
Thank
the
you.
spinner,
spinner.
either, but okay, so Tina Daniels and Alexi, if you can post the second one. Congratulations, Tina. Tina's 1999.
I just want to say, Elizabeth, you
my
look
classmate.
sensational.
The second
You look-
one's not on there.
You must be
You
using
know,
these products. You look fabulous.
I love anti-aging products, so thank you very much. Oh, it's great to see you. Congratulations.
Oh, she's getting
Okay,
a lot
who's
of
our
people.
second one, Alexi?
She has to get someone
we've
who's
had
here.
a lot of drop-offs. Got one.
Okay, Limor Moshkovich. Limor, unmute yourself and say something if you're on with us.
There she is. She's in the chat.
Limor.
There
Okay.
she said
Limor.
hi.
Yay, Limor, congratulations. You will be getting your Beauty Belle and Bow kit from Alexi. She will contact you and Tina to let you know how we're going to get that to you.
Oh, it's very
Congratulations
late
to
there.
both of you.
That's great. Hmm.
Yes, and thank you
Alright.
even more because it's so late. So, okay, so what is our next one? I'll begin speaking about it while we switch over. This is a really exciting one. So we have Margaret Nyamumbo, who is MBA 2016. You may have heard of her company, but any of the 2016s that are on here, but beyond. Maggie is actually the founder of Kawaha 1893 Coffee Company. She has been actually pretty well known and has had some write-ups about her because she is a Shark Tank winner. So Maggie, thank you. We are so pleased to have the bundle. We have a Kawaha 1893 coffee bundle to give away today. All right, Alexi, over to you.
They also
Amanda.
They served at the presidential.
Amanda Hack. Okay.
Yay.
Oh, that's right, Kathy. What is it? They serve at the
her
They're
coffee.
serving her coffee.
They served her
Where?
coffee at the White House when the when they had a state lunch dinner recently. So
amazing.
Oh, let me
Okay,
see.
so
I gotta
Amanda
get back.
Hack.
Congratulations.
Amanda is on here.
Yes,
Okay.
it was for the Kenya state dinner.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that's great.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
I
Her
know.
Yeah,
coffee
so
is
Maggie is a
delicious.
really, yeah, and she's blazing a trail in great coffee. So yeah, we're very pleased and we thank her very much for her generosity. Okay, I'll start on the next one. So some of you also may have heard about our next sponsor, Tilden, because Tilden has written up in our HBS alumni magazine. There's a great article. I think Alexi has the link to it. We'll put that in the chat. But Tilden is basically a company founded by 2 HBS women. We have Mariah Hilton Wood and Vanessa Royal, both of whom were class of 2022. So also very recent grads. They're the co-founders of Tilden. And Tilden, it's an award-winning non-alcoholic cocktail company. Ready to use. You just open it, pour over ice. You can garnish it if you like, but it's ready to serve. You don't have to mix or measure anything. And we have some really great pieces that are going to go into this prize. We have one prize for this, and you will be getting the Lacewing Cucumber Basil and Lychee cocktail. You will be getting the Tandem Tart, which is a tart cherry, orange, oak, and ginger, and a bunch of Tilden swag thrown in. So let's pick our winner for the Tilden gift basket. Beth Vanderslice. Okay, there you are. Beth, unmute yourself if you are on and able to talk. Otherwise, we'll look for you in the chat.
I'm here. Yeah, thank you so much. I love non-alcoholic beverages. So thank you.
You know, that means you can just have a cocktail anytime. Doesn't matter.
Well, I've only been experimenting with non-alcoholic beer. This is perfect. Thank you.
There you go.
Hey,
You
Beth,
are very
it's good to
welcome.
see you. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Yeah, that's great. Okay, and thanks to our HBS women from Tilden who generously donated that tonight. Okay, we've got 3 more sponsors. We're gonna run through these last 3. Land's End. Most people know Land's End. It's a landmark American retail brand. So Land's End is actually, we have our very great and valued supporter for HBSWA, Andrew McLean. He is MBA. Let's see what year I have here. MBA 96. So if any other 96s are on here, you may know Andrew. So Andrew has generously donated, and I say generously, we have 15. We're going to pull 15 names of a Land's End summer bundle, which includes the famous Land's End tote and a beach towel, the rugby stripe towel, and both are branded with Harvard Business School Women's Association. So we have 15 of these, 15. So Alexi, I'm going to sit back and let you do your part because this is
all right. Well, I'm
a
gonna
ton.
ask someone to take names so that I don't forget. So here we go.
Irene Sudak. Okay, we got
First
Irene.
one.
Before everybody talks, we'll write down the 15 and then you can.
Oh,
and
I'm taking pictures.
Jimba Bakuro.
I moved it
love
so
that.
fast.
Wendy Heatley.
Wendy.
That's 3.
Christine Dedrick.
4, yay, Christine.
Okay.
Dylan.
Oludamilola.
It's Dylan.
Oh, Dylan.
Yeah,
Dylan, you're hiding under your full long name. Dylan, great to see you here. Congratulations.
Great pronunciation. I'm
That
proud
was
of you.
Tina Daniels.
Tina got another one. Oh my God, it's your lucky night. Lily Pan. All right, we're halfway there. Mary Flannery.
Irene.
Wait, Irene already won.
Wait,
That's another name.
That's a second one on the same one.
She's a winner.
Lynn Tabarosi. I think we should get a different name, right?
Yeah.
Or are we giving her 2 bags? I think. Okay.
All right, what are we at?
Adelaide.
How many more?
Lori Connor.
I'm just taking
3,
pictures.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 5 more.
Okay, that sounds about right. Oh gosh. That's
Lynn
the problem.
Tamarossi twice. Lynn, you're so lucky.
Lynn and then Rena.
Rena was in my group. Hey, Rena.
Thank you.
Wendy
Wendy
again.
Heatley again.
It's supposed to be random.
Patricia Sutherland.
Hey, Patty.
Are we there yet? Are we at 15? I lost count.
Who's got the actual? I think I have
Six,
14,
7,
but
8,
I
9,
lost.
10, 11, 12. I think we have 2 more because I missed one. 2 more.
Yeah, that's right. I took pictures.
No, they
on my
are
phone,
winning
so-
once. Don't
No.
worry.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hurwitz.
Elizabeth. All right.
You have 15?
I knew this one was going
And
to take a
Tamara
while. We're at
Lichtman,
15.
Tamara Lichtman.
Okay.
Okay, so congratulations to all of you. We're going to work all that out. We're going to get in touch with you and let you know how you're going to get your Land's End. And we're very appreciative for Andrew McLean. Thank you for your Land's End donation. Okay, and we have 2 more. Now I've got one more gift that everybody is eligible for. And depending who is still on, our grand prize gift at the end, sponsored by Grant's Jewelry, our own Susan Grant, is for members only. But we've got one more that everybody, our invited guests and non-members and members are all eligible for. We have one winner for Black Opal, and this is an amazing company, Desiree Rogers, who is a MBA 85. And Desiree has provided us with an amazing bundle. I'm going to read some of the things that are in it, but you're going to have a lot of new products to try. There's Lip and Cheek Tinted Balm. We have Color Splurge eyeshadow sticks, mascara and blush sticks. We have Haute Heat eyeshadow palette. We have Stay the Day setting spray, and we have Even True brightening scrub and moisturizer. I think I hit them all, but you're going to have a lot of great products in here. So thank you, Desiree, for supporting HBSWA, and let's pull our winner for the Black Opal, Beth Vanderslice. Okay.
Well, I already won, so if you want to select somebody else.
Are you okay with that? Let's go
I'm
ahead and do that,
absolutely
Beth.
okay.
Oh, thank you,
You're
Beth.
a
You're
winner,
so
Beth.
kind.
I
Yeah,
feel like it.
we like for as many people as possible.
Okay, there we go. We
Joan
got a new one.
Colligan.
Joan, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, and we are now at the point of our grand prize. Now, also after we do the grand prize, Sherry's going to wrap it up and just give a couple extra pieces of information. But this is a really beautiful prize. And Susan Grant, who is on
Good.
our board of
Yay,
HBSWA, wave
Susan.
at everybody.
Here it
Susan.
is.
Susan is OPM 30, and she is such an active part of HBSWA and an incredibly generous sponsor. Grant's Jewelry is her company. So all of our companies tonight, HBS Connection or HBS-led companies, I think with the exception of one, but Susan has donated a pair of diamond earrings, 1 carat total weight of diamond earrings in a 4-prong
are.
martini setting. Very classic, very beautiful.
Wow.
So members only. Alexi, over to you so we can pull the lucky winner.
Okay.
Da, 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 da.
Laurence Lefebvre.
Laurence Lefebvre.
Laurence?
I'm
Is
saying
Laurence
it.
here?
I'm saying Laurence. It might be Lawrence, but let's see. Is
They
Lawrence
are
here?
not.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
goodness.
Wait, they're
All
not
right.
here? Oh,
Nope, not here. You
Nope.
gotta be
Uh-oh.
present to win. So, okay.
who's
Going
the
once,
lucky
going
winner
twice,
next?
going 3 times. Sorry, Laurence. Hema Nealon.
Hema Nealon.
Hema, are you there?
Yes.
Woo!
Oh, can't believe I won that.
Hema, you have a pair of 1
Ah.
carat diamond earrings. Congratulations. Yay, Susan's got them right there. Congratulations.
Yep, right here.
So thank you everybody for sticking around. You've earned these prizes. We'll get in touch with everybody, but stick around for a few more minutes because Sherry's going to wrap us up. So
Yes,
Sherry,
we're going to
over
be
to
quick.
you.
Very quick, guys. I want to say thank you for all the wonderful sponsors. And Susan, what an incredible grand
Yeah.
prize. Thank you. Thanks
My
everybody.
pleasure.
Congrats to all the winners. Real quick to wrap up, thanks for bearing with us. What's next? Just want to share with you a few things that you can expect and some of the events coming up. If you could go to the next screen, I can get through it and try and do this in no time. Just know that this was a virtual celebration, but we're going to be having a lot of local events in your local region, wherever you are located. Look at this list, and there's going to be more being planned. If you could see on the right-hand side in the red column, we've got a number of things going on in all those different cities and regions. Take a look at our website. Linda, remember, there's the one for London, but there's a bunch of dinners in New York City. There's an event in Connecticut and one in Toronto, and then in Midwest. A lot of things going on in Chicago, but we've got Denver and we've got people in Minneapolis and people in Indiana. And you could just see all these people are coming to us and they want to plan a local event. If you're interested in a local event, you don't see your city here, let us know. We'll help you get something started. All right, Kathy, go to the next screen, please. And next, you should know, everybody, that we have a lot of roundtables. We got a lot of feedback from a lot of women who are saying they really treasure the interaction and the connection. So we created roundtables. And we've got one in healthcare, one for working mothers, one for consulting, one for future of food, one for career transitions. And we've got some others that people are telling us they really want, like women in entrepreneurship or women in finance. Or so, you know, we're working on all these things, but take a look at the website and please sign up. These are monthly get-togethers and the women are finding it really valuable. And there's also some WhatsApp groups as well for people. Everyone's like chatting with each other. It's really sensational. Next one is just to let you know that we have a lot of other events. We call it signature events, where we've got a whole series on ESG, thanks to one of our board members, Nidhi Chadha, but we've got other series of of events going on. We're talking about putting together financial well-being series of events, AI series of events, panel discussions, fireside chats, inspiring women leaders, professor events. And as was mentioned earlier, please make a note of Wednesday, June 26th at 5 p.m. Eastern for our annual meeting. Very important moment in our history. So please join us then. And let's see, is there one more slide or is that it? I can't remember. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. So please join us if you haven't already. Follow us on LinkedIn. If you're interested in volunteering, we would love to have you. There's so many ways that you could help this organization grow. And please take a picture of these QR codes. And then also, Heather Myers, you're here. I'm going to pass it over to you for the final word. Thanks
Yes.
everybody for coming.
Yes, I know we're over time, so I am just going to say thank you to all of you for being here. This was really, really fun, and can't wait for the next time. Enjoy the evening.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Good
everyone.
night.
Thanks.
Good night.
Well done, group. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm
Good
going to
night.
miss everybody.